all the cars are the same. The engineers are employed by one like organization only. Also the mechanics, everything, and we do rotate the engineers every time. So we take a lottery ticket.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Track Limits podcast presented by Formula Addict. I am your host Swish. I'm joined by my co-hosts Fevin and Henny, and today we're joined by an incredibly special guest here in Helsinki, Finland, Emma. Welcome to the show.
Welcome.
Let's
go.
Thanks for the invite.
No worries. How are you
anytime.
doing?
I'm good.
Yeah?
Thanks for asking.
Off season is going well so far?
Yes, off season is fully on, and every other week I'm basically trying to get that adrenaline rush. Daily injection somewhere, and then every other week I'm basically at home and trying to be that decent, normal mom.
Family person. Yeah.
That's too cute.
Well, we have a lot to get through kind of in the next hour, and I think we're going to touch on kind of every aspect of your life, racing, outside of the track as well. You know how I think the format of these questions are going to go. Q1, Q2, Q3. Q1, we're going to go over all the racing-related questions. Q2 are a little bit more personal questions, diving into you as a professional. And then finally, it's the rapid-fire round, which we all look forward to. We're going to pepper you with a bunch of questions and see how rapid and fire your responses can be.
All right. I actually haven't looked at those questions
That's perfect. That's perfect.
beforehand. I just remember that you mentioned something that. So
lovely.
It will be.
Yeah.
It'll be exciting. Off the cuff.
Yeah.
Exactly. This will be fun. Are you ready for Q1? Are you ready to get into it? Perfect.
Yeah.
So first question we ask every guest is, in 30 seconds, try to summarize your career for us. You know, like some of the kind of core accomplishments that you're proud of.
Yeah, well, I started when I was 3 years old. Drove my first race when I was 5. Moved up to single seaters when I was 15. And since then I've been racing. 2008 I was already professional, and then I've had that 4-year hiatus between my two kind of careers, and coming back after being a mother was pretty special. So since 2019 I've been doing the W series, and so far on that road.
Love that.
That's beautiful.
Love that. And what is the day-to-day life of Emm'a now? Because you mentioned you're a mother, you're a family person clearly, while you're also on the racetrack. I mean, I can only imagine your schedule gets very, very busy during the season. So what does that day-to-day life kind of look like for you?
It's definitely busy at some point. So it's basically I'm at home. When I'm at home, then I'll be that family person, the mother, the decent one, trying to take care of all the daily stuff, and myself, of course, like physical training is a huge part of that daily routines. And then, of course, doing all the kind of sports that I enjoy a lot. All of them basically includes some adrenaline. And then during the season, it's a lot of traveling. So basically all that, the trips, we are somewhere abroad, like US or something. It's usually over 10 days away from home. And then the next race is already coming. So sometimes you just come home and wash your clothes and then you're off again. And but then there is also some periods where you're like home maybe a few weeks. So, but then usually my schedule is pretty tight too. So I've taken like TV shows or or then commentating the F1 or something like that. So basically all the time something is happening, but that's good. That's good. I like it.
It doesn't stop.
Yeah. Just go. So let's talk about your rookie year. 2005, you picked up so many awards, and it was in the championship races. So how was that, move into going from, racing and then going, oh my God, I can't talk today, but, racing from championship, and how was that rookie year for you?
Yeah, well, obviously it's a big change coming from karting to single seaters, but it was really, really good season. I got a lot of help from the team that I raced with. I was 2 years together with that team. I actually got to do plenty of like engineering stuff as well. So I was able to actually undo and do again like the gearbox, for example, in that formula.
Interesting.
So it was about learning, and I had the best teachers as well. So it was very lovely indeed. Yeah.
Was that like something that you took special interest in terms of just like the technical aspect, or was that part of the training?
No, that's like part of who you need to be as a
Yeah.
racing driver. You need to understand what the car has kind of like eaten to be, if you can say it like that.
Yeah.
So what is it built for? And so then you can understand how to change things, and you need to be interested in the tech part as well, and the engineering and the setup and all that. If you're not interested, you can't have the understanding, really.
Yeah.
So
Was that something you always knew kind of going into the sport? Like you understood the engineering technical side when you went into the sport, or was that something that you progressed as you were a driver learning about?
Yeah, you need to learn that. I was always able to kind of explain what needs to be done, what I want to be changed.
Yeah.
So analyze the car, the driving, and I was able to explain to whether it was when I was karting, it was my dad who made the changes, or then I wanted to be there to make the changes as well. Kind of just to be involved, and I really enjoyed it. So I think it's really important to then be like progressively educating yourself
Right.
Yep.
towards that side, that you understand the engineering, because then you can relate to the engineer as well, and you're
Exactly.
talking the same language.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's very tough.
So, can you move this thing to this thing? Can you change that to this thingy?
Exactly. Well, the car is a little bit oversteering.
Oh, damn.
It's just oversteering. Just fix it.
Yeah.
Just fix it.
And does the engineer, do you feel, also have to then know kind of from the driver's side? Because like if the drivers obviously have to understand a little bit about the engineering side, I would imagine the engineer needs to know a little bit about what you guys are going through in the cockpit as well.
Yeah, definitely. The best engineers I've worked with have had some kind of driving experience. So then it kind of helps in a way that you talk the same language once again. And then obviously the engineers and the drivers can be a little bit different, like personality-wise, so that they can be introverts and then the drivers are extroverts, for example. And then that already brings communication issues in a way.
Yeah.
And then if you don't understand each other and you don't talk even the tech language, so then it's going to be tough.
Right.
So I do love the engineering and the tech and the data to kind of explain, if I say the car is doing something, like what does it mean if it's a lot, if it's a little, if it's just a bit, like kind of the data just then shows that what my language is all about. Yeah.
As a quick follow-up, let's put you in like a race day. What is the dynamic like in the garage of like a W Series race?
Yeah, well, W Series is very different from everything else I've driven before, because we all are in the same organization, which is a big one. So we do have teams, but they're basically at the moment just commercial. So all the cars are the same. The engineers are employed by one like organization only, also the mechanics, everything. And we do rotate the engineers every time. So we take a lottery ticket.
No way.
Every Thursday before the racing weekend starts, we have a lottery for the engineers, because there is variations between the engineers. So then it's like it would be unfair if someone would stick with the driver, long enough. And then when it's like the big organization, they rotate them. So and you can't work with the same engineer twice
In a row.
No, like twice during the whole season. So
then how do you build a relationship with?
Yeah, well, it's tough. It's like it's basically speed dating. So right after that draw, we have the track walk.
Okay.
So then you have like that 5K, 5 to 6K time to kind of
get to know them.
Where
are you from?
Can we be best
from all
friends?
over. How did you get into racing?
That's like 40 minutes at most. I don't know how fast you're walking your dog.
An hour maybe.
Keep pushing it.
Yeah, definitely trying to figure out, what's the kind of what I'm trying to do is I'm of course, trying to get to know that person, like the personality, kind of the passions, kind of what's the background, experience, and trying to get to kind of know the basic facts so that I can then kind of be the leader who then kind of tells that I know if that person, if he or she needs help with something, like kind of trying to get to know where I should be taking more responsibility, where she or he is able to take more responsibility,
Yeah, where, like a SWOT analysis, where the gaps are,
Exactly.
where you need to fill in.
Exactly. Exactly. Because that is a so important relationship. That's like the most important. And then we have only just one day making that.
Yeah,
So
I'm actually shocked. That's the thing.
it's tough.
I don't know if that's an advantage or disadvantage.
It's different.
Yeah.
I think it's kind of advantage so that you learn more skills yourself.
Yeah.
You need to push yourself to do that, which makes then when you go into another team, you move up in your career, you go somewhere else, your social skills levels are completely different. Yeah. So, and then you've worked with so many different engineers so that I do have a list, like with every engineer I've worked with, I have a list like about the mistakes I've made. So basically I'm like, next time I need to remember to do this. Next time, I need to tell this and all those things. So I think it's been really good for the kind of the progress. And
does any other racing format have that type of structure from kind of what you know?
I've done one before, like 2009. I did Formula Palmer Audi in England, and they had the same kind of organization system. But then we didn't rotate any engineers, anything like that. So that's completely new, and it was a new challenge to us as well. So, and actually in 2019, when W Series started, we changed the whole team. So basically, the drivers picked up the lottery ticket to switch the car, the mechanic, and the engineer, everything.
Wow.
Yeah. So we were just moving.
You're just moving from seat to seat.
Wow.
Yeah.
But
that was actually nice because the cars, even though they are the same, but they're not.
Yeah.
They are not, because every car is an individual, no matter where it comes from, even though it's made in the factory, but they are hand built. Everything is,
different tweaks.
Right.
Yeah. They're not the same.
Right.
So then when you were able to kind of change the cars as well, that was actually really nice in a way, but obviously a bit difficult for the spectators to follow who's in what car then. So then we're not doing that anymore.
In talks of the Formula and FIA, they've introduced the Women Academy Series coming up this year. Do you think they're doing enough for the women in the sport?
Well, whatever they are doing is good. I think
they're doing something.
Yeah, they're doing something that's already a lot more than it has been done before.
Exactly.
So it's very good. I think anything that they are doing is good. I think that series as well is a positive thing. If we can somehow get more female involved in the sports, it's great. It's all about the kind of it's all about the PR and so that you can be seen. And then that's an important thing. So no matter what route it is, it's good.
Nice.
Yeah. The more the younger generation are able to see more and more women in any format, I would say, is probably going to be encouraging of the younger generation coming up, especially with the rise of it's not the rise, but the growth and popularity that F1 has currently in the younger audience. I would just, I mean, a quick question for you. Would you say having a quota or say like a percentage within like F2 or F3 versus a separate organization like a W Series, like which would have its advantage? Like, what would you think of that?
Well, I think that both are good.
Yeah.
Like, why can't they be like side by side? Anything is like just volume, bring it on, and then you'll find that exceptional talent.
Yeah.
Right.
Because the thing is like, okay, why isn't there a lot of female racing drivers who, capable of doing, like, for example, Formula One?
Yeah.
But if you think that you have the mass, what you have from the guys, and compared to the female who are, coming into the sports, So that's already different.
Yeah.
But I think that both routes are good. Any investment towards getting more diversity and equality in sports in general is amazing.
Right.
Yeah.
And when do you think we will see a female F1 driver? Is that something that might come up in the next 10, 15 years? Do you see anybody in the kind of
I do.
Yeah.
It's all about the I don't know, the kind of the point system in the super license thing is tough.
Yep.
At the moment, because you need to have so much budget to be able to gather that. It's crazy amount of money you need to put in to be able to drive those series where you can actually get those points.
Yep.
And then to get that, those seats are not even able. It's so tough to get a good seat in those series from a team that is competitive, and then the amount of money you need to put in and everything, the politics around everything like that. So that is one thing that can, be a bit difficult for one specific to go there. But yeah, I don't know. Other than that, I would say like within already 5 years.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm
Hopefully.
I'm hopeful.
Yeah, me
It's
too.
stamped 5 years from now.
Yeah,
we'll
yeah.
be seeing somebody right there.
Yeah.
Before.
Yeah.
But in 5 years.
In 5 years. There you
a
go.
few. I would love to see that.
Yeah, me too.
It's interesting. I mean, the debate isn't even then about skill as much as it's about, like you mentioned, funding.
Yeah,
right?
funding.
The ability to get into all those series, all those races, to accumulate enough points.
Yeah.
Because I remember like Susie Wolf, for example, when she did her FP1 session, I think that might have been 2014, 2015.
Yeah.
She like, even with no practice, was, P15.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
literally
she was
beating
pushing,
out.
yeah, she was pushing the
right?
limit, yeah.
4 or 5 other drivers in F1 who had practice from previous time on that track before. So I don't think the debate is about skill as much as it seems like it's about more opportunity, which is why like even having something like a W series might be great.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's what W Series is all about opportunity, basically.
Yeah.
And I didn't, before W Series, I kind of didn't believe in what they said that it's their motto is kind of like that you can't be what you can't see. And for me, it was like, well, I've always thought, even though I haven't been able to see any like female Formula One drivers or racing drivers doing so well, other than like Michel Mouton from the rallying or something like that. But still, I was thinking like, well, I will be there.
Right. Yeah.
So that's always been my mentality. But then in a picture, not everyone is thinking like me. And then I've seen what W Series has done that actually works.
Right.
Like so many girls and like females in general have been interested in racing since W Series. And it's actually, I'm like, what? That's cool.
Yeah.
Representation is everything. It really is across all aspects. And I'm hopeful that more and more brands will continue to go into sponsoring and funding young drivers, female drivers, and
series and all that. Because I think W Series is great because it's a series that gathers the funding and then it goes to to many drivers as well.
Right.
So I like that idea kind of a lot. So but yeah, any kind of investment funding is important to kind of raise the female sports in general.
Yeah. Love that. And I think last year in Miami, you had like a really exciting race where it was a last lap shootout with Jamie Chadwick. Obviously, like things obviously did not go well in terms of the car, right? I think there was a reliability issue that happened. What goes through your mind though? Like going into a final lap like that, it's an intense race with somebody who's obviously incredibly competitive as well. What are your emotions like? I'm curious as a racer, do you feel the stress? Do you feel the pressure? Like, what are you feeling?
Well, the pressure was that we actually didn't know that it's going to be one lap, but I was certain of it. So I built myself, even though the time had already run out. So basically we should have gone into like checkered flag at that point. But it kind of happened the same thing that happened in Abu Dhabi. That they just suddenly decided it's going to be one lap more. And no one told us anything though. But I was like, it's going to be one lap more. I kind of knew that. So I prepared myself like fully. I prepared the car, the brakes, the tires, everything. And I was just like, let's go. Such a good feeling. And I was like, now I'm going to, fool everyone coming out of the last corner. I went to to first gear. I was like, now I'm gonna like
Punch it.
basically really like
Yeah.
take off. And it did happen. It was so good. My restart was amazing from the corner, but then the engine was like,
Nope.
Oh, come on, engine.
and it just died. It just started to cut like you would run out of fuel. It felt like that. It just cut it. It just took the power down, and I'm like,
What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was in third gear when it did that. I was in third gear. I had like great launch, and it just started cutting. And I'm like, no, this is not happening. I tried to pump and I tried to fix the gears, everything, nothing happened. And I was like, no, this is not happening. So I moved on to the sides, the dirty side. And then just suddenly, because obviously Jamie couldn't overtake me because you need to be with the start-finish line. And then after that, you can overtake.
Right.
So she was just there right beside me. And I just suddenly the car just like, started running again.
Right.
I'm like, this is great.
Yeah.
But then obviously I had been on the dirty side. So the tires were so dirty. And I went off the first corner. And then Jamie went by. There was also Marta Garcia who went by. But then I had great speed on that last lap. And then the last corner, Marta was in front of me, and she moved to the inside so that I couldn't, overtake her from there. So basically, I didn't have any other choice than to just follow the outside lane. I left like plenty of space. I was thinking like, okay, now I put the first gear again, and then we see like who launches the best from the corner, and then we will see in the like a great shootout. But then she did a little mistake there, not leaving enough space. And then she hit my rear wheel and spun me around like the last corner of the last lap. Like I was leading this race at this point, like a lap ago.
Right.
That feeling like, losing everything in that one last lap. It was like devastating. I was...
I can't even imagine.
I was frustrated, but also like the emotions, other way, like everything, because I had so high hopes for the whole season start. Racing with Puma, like the Miami was so awesome. The race, everything, the atmosphere, the people, everything was so cool. And I had this amazing speed. Like the car was doing exactly what I wanted, and then it just failed me. And I was like, no.
How do you come down from that? How do you like just really work through that disappointment?
It was so unbelievable. I actually laughed. It was like
the shock laugh that you get.
Exactly. I was like, this is ridiculous. This is not happening. Like wake me up.
Yeah.
Is this a dream?
Yeah.
No, I was actually laughing because it was so absurd.
Yeah.
Wow.
That is.
How can you deal with that otherwise? I think it's just
for
like,
me,
okay, well.
It's either, laughter or just sob.
Yeah.
One or the other. Yeah.
There's two extremes.
Or both.
At the same time.
Yeah, but then obviously the tech side of me was like, okay, what went wrong? Like, I wanted to know exactly what was going on with the car, but no one could tell.
Really?
Right.
They even still up to date, they don't know what went wrong. So it was like, how is... Like I tried to explain to people, we need to know so that this doesn't happen again. But they kind of explained that it was the heat and the humidity that was there, like because the air temperature was really high and the humidity was crazy at that point. So I don't know, maybe that just didn't cope with the car.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I can't even.
But that's
imagine.
racing.
Yeah.
That's
it can
racing.
happen anytime.
Yeah.
And have you felt as frustrated, do you feel like, in recent memory at any other race? Or
The next one. Because that was that same corner. And I was second. And then I was just like spun around again.
Yeah.
But then that was because I lost the brakes of the car, failed. I was like, it was 5 laps. I had been driving for 5 laps that race. And then they just started to fail. And they failed all the time. And so it meant like the balance of the brakes just went from the front completely to the rear. So I basically didn't have any front brakes at all.
Right.
So I was basically just like drifting, with a handbrake to every corner.
Tokyo drift.
Exactly. And I was like, no. And it was just so long, the race. I was really hoping for like safety cars and something like that, but no, nothing like that happened. And it was crazy. And I was just hanging in there. trying to hold my second place, and no. It just then in the last corner, last lap once again,
Right.
and then it just like spun already a lot, and then Alice Powell came and just a little hit into the rear, and but then I already had learned from the previous race, and I was just like first gear and
right back at
so
it.
I was fifth in the end, but still.
So you go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say. So then, what do you look forward to this upcoming season?
Yeah, well, just not having those kind of moments.
Yeah.
I got to learn from all kind of mistakes, whether they were mine or like general, if it's technical, whatever. So making sure that nothing like that happens again. Yeah.
Our final question before I think we get into Q2. I'm curious, like those types of moments, even like good moments where you're racing really competitively with a driver. Is there a group chat for drivers? We've heard rumors there is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, there is totally.
Is
like
it WhatsApp, Telegram, or
yeah, it's a WhatsApp group. And usually there is like a general one for W Series, and then there is like every race has their own ones as well. But the general ones are fun. And then we do have like smaller chats between some drivers as well, where we just do some memes or or then just like basic other stuff, just information or what do you think of this or that or
And after like a moment like that, are you ever in like the WhatsApp group like, hey Alice, like what the hell?
Why'd you do that to me?
Why'd you do that to me?
Oh no, not really.
No.
Usually those situations are dealt with like on site.
Right.
If we're dealing them at all. I kind of think it's sometimes there is a tense feeling in the driver's room if there's been collisions or something like that. But then everyone understands that that's racing, and we do forgive ourselves as well, because we do know that when we put the helmets on, we are racing drivers. When we take them off, we are all athletes, like professionals. We need to be able to get along and have a good time, because we need to spend a lot of time together. So better to just move on and and then me as the mom is there like, okay, let's
everyone calm down.
Do you take on that maternal figure for the group?
Sometimes. I'm the calmest one. Can you imagine?
Right.
Like here when you talk with me, and I'm like pretty extrovert, but I'm actually the one who is really calm and not usually saying a lot and being there like super Finnish.
I love it. Well, that was Q1. I mean, Henny, verdict. I think that went really well.
That went really well. I think it's a green sector for this one.
Green sector for that one. Yeah, there we go.
Let's see if we can get a purple one on the next one.
Hey guys, thanks so much for your support and for being here. We take a lot of pride in the work that we are doing and making sure that we are producing the best quality content for you all. We are doing intense amount of research, flying to where our guests are, and asking questions that you might want to hear about. We know there are a lot of you out here that are watching and not subscribed, so I just want to make sure that you can go ahead, check, and see if you're subscribed. And if you're not, smash that button, and we'll see you on the next one.
So going to Q2, this is kind of where we want to dive a little bit more kind of into your personal backstory. So even before racing, as a kid, what were you into? Like, what was your childhood like? What hobbies did you have? Were you always into racing? I know you said, you started at 3, just very young. Yeah. But was there anything else that you were like, I could be an astronaut or I could be an engineer?
Oh yeah. I definitely thought that I'm going to be the president of Finland. Yeah.
Amazing.
There's still an opportunity.
Yeah, there is.
So
there is. I know.
Yeah.
But politics, in today's world, not the easiest one. But I already sat in that cart that I started with. I already sat in that when I was 1 year old. So then I was just waiting, my feet to grow a little bit. So then with a couple of pillows behind my back, I was able to actually finally drive when I was 3. Wow. And then at the age of 5, I got a bigger cart that I could actually participate in the races. And that was nice. So my brother, who is 2 years older than me, he was also driving. Okay. And it was just a whole family hobby. we were just enjoying, like traveling around Finland with a caravan thingy, and then just like hanging around with friends at the track. Yeah, definitely. Never had intentions on like becoming anything,
Really?
like a professional, anything like that. But then when I was kind of like 12. Because I was doing other sports as well, like basketball, karate, dancing. I wanted to do like football and stuff, but those were like summer sports.
Yeah.
And I needed to choose only one summer sport. So then I chose all the other sports so that they were during the winter, like the off-season time.
Right.
And so that's why basketball, for example, even though I'm not that tall anymore.
Yeah.
I was when I was a kid, but then it stopped. Now,
funny enough, she actually taught me how to play basketball too growing up. Yeah.
So he's the baller now in the family, but I always remind him, remember where your roots are.
Oh, yeah.
I taught you.
Yeah. She always does. She's like, I taught you how to shoot. I taught you how to dribble. I'm like,
oh yeah, no.
I take credit.
Oh yeah. You should.
I'm the older sister.
Yeah.
You should. Definitely. So yeah, I was so I was also doing karate with my brother as well, and we were called actually the Kimiläinen brothers. Everyone called like, the Kimiläinen brothers are coming. So that kind of tells the personality that I had. I was kind of, if you can say anymore, that this time, but I was kind of like a tomboy, tom girl, like kind of wanted to just climb the trees and play some hockey on the streets with plenty of guys and stuff like that. Never kind of played with any Barbies or
dolls or
things like that. More action.
And then traveling even when you were younger, and then I'm guessing obviously now with your career, it's all over the place.
Yeah.
Right? Like, have you dealt with that? Like how to deal with just traveling so much and balancing your life out? Like, has that always been a challenge for you, or is it now like, you feel like your work-life balance now, you can kind of disconnect?
Yeah. It's I think it's in a good balance at the moment. Yeah. Obviously the traveling part is something that you need to take into account when you train and your what you eat and how and the sleep and stuff. But for me, it's pretty good because I'm a good in sleeping. So when I'm like, okay, I'm tired. Lights out, and then I'm there.
Even on a plane?
Huh?
Even on a plane?
Yeah, even on a plane.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a skill.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, for example, when we were traveling to Singapore last year for the W Series event, so I think the direct flight was like 14 hours because we need to go around Russia. Yeah. So, but I slept the whole way.
Wow.
So it was like, oh, now I'm here.
Wow. Without sleeping pills. Oh my God.
That's
That's actually ultimate skill.
Yeah. It was just fine. Yeah. But also I'm not stressing about the kind of the rest or the sleep.
Yeah.
When I'm there, even though I'm not sleeping, I'm not too concerned about that. I'm more like, okay, I'm then just daydreaming and I'm resting. That's good. And then I'm falling asleep. Yeah.
On other aspects of balance, like what's it like being a mother and a race car driver? Does she understand what you do? And
at the moment she does a little bit, but she's not interested. It's more or less like she's interested in anything I'm not good at.
Really?
She has to call you out on it.
Oh yeah. We're very competitive. We are very competitive. Or she is a competitive against me, but she does appreciate that, and we have this good funny relationship, sarcastic, a little bit like teasing around and stuff. So I always tell her that she's the best child I've ever had, and then she's like, well, you don't have any other. And I'm like, yeah. And then she returns the favor by saying like, well, you're quite decent yourself,
How old is she?
She's turning 10.
Okay.
Yeah. So quite old already.
Definitely understands the world.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
And so no aspirations of or being or following in your footsteps?
No, not at the moment. No, she is definitely not into racing. But she's definitely into gymnastics because I suck at that.
That's really cool. I'm sure your daughter looks up to you as a role model. So speaking of being a role model, in 2010, you were asked to do a adult content as part of your driver's contract. Are those types of outrageous requests still like, do they still happen, or like what are you?
Well, I don't know. Hopefully they don't happen.
Yeah.
I haven't experienced anything like that after that thing. But yes, at that time it seemed, or like how I was explained, that that's what you need to do.
Wow.
So if you wanna get up there and you wanna be successful, that's just part of the deal. That's what they said to me. But then I was like, oh well, no deal.
I'll stay away from that.
Exactly. Because can you imagine now, like my daughter's friends would Google me and see like, you've done this and that. No, I was basically laughing about it because it was that absurd once again. Like every absurd things that is happening, I'm just
laughing.
oh my god, just like
I was reading about it. About that happening to you, and I'm like, even 12 years ago, I don't think that was okay.
No, definitely not.
I know.
No.
But I don't know. Yeah, apparently it was. No, it was more at that point. It was more. I think it was kind of that they thought that maybe like sex sells.
Yeah.
Even though someone would think that nowadays as well, but no one would actually say it.
Yeah.
Or like, I don't know. It was a quite weird thing. But no, I told the team that, look, do you understand how much work actually I've done to be considered just one of the guys? Like during my whole career. Like I've done so much that because obviously already the thing that I am different sex means that that I get attention that I sometimes don't want.
Exactly.
Or that we do get attention within the team. But then we can get that attention to the good side when we do good results. Like when I'm good at what I do and when we get the results, if that's not enough, then I can't offer any more. Like I can be the spokesperson. I wanna be the athlete. I wanna be considered as that and nothing more. Like I don't think that this is something that that is like necessary in any way in this whole thing. So I said that if I would do something like this, I would just make things a lot harder for me, in the future for my career. So I want to be considered as professional, and that's why I said no.
Yeah, and
good for you.
Yeah, right
for you. I commend you.
Yeah,
it's quite the role model for many.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think.
But then I stopped racing for 4 years. But that was kind of the prize. But at the same time, well, I'm back.
Yeah, you're back.
We love a comeback story.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone does.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm back as a mother.
Yeah.
And
double.
a driver. You have an amazing job that a lot of people would want, especially female that are, developing their aspirations. What is that one recommendation that you would give them, whether it's to enter the sports or even just racing itself?
Well, I think there is one really important message to everyone, which is like no one succeeds at all alone.
Yeah.
So if you want to get successful at anything, just gather a team around you and appreciate those people and the work they do, and then like do it together with them, because you need to have that support in, no matter if that's support from your like family, if it's from your partner, if it's like manager, like other people, sponsors, the team itself. There needs to be someone who opens the doors that you actually get the opportunities, and you don't get that if you don't appreciate the team and the people who you work with. So that's one thing. You need to gather a lot of people who believe in you, and then you will believe in yourself as well, and don't doubt yourself.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Was there a moment ever in your career, I know it's not finished yet and you have a lot to go, but you thought, I made this, like this is my moment, this is where I could say my career was a defining moment?
Well, I think one of those big ones was the comeback. Like I never ever thought that I would come back. And then there were also like these kind of the calls that you get, or the you get kind of interest and contacts and stuff, and okay, like, would you be interested to do this and that? But then those things never actually, they hardly, become to reality. But then that was like, I had that phone call, and from a team in Sweden, and then they were like, well, we've been having an eye on you for a really long time,
That's amazing.
and now our team is finally ready, so we can have a professional driver.
Yep.
Would you be up to it? Up for it? I'm like, yeah. I had a 6-month-old baby. You're like, oh, for sure. Don't worry. I'll be there. And I was like, do they, by the way, know that I have a kid? I haven't been driving anything for 4 years. And,
I was just going to ask you that. Like you were in hiatus.
Yeah. But they were like, and they said to me like, well, we've seen what you've done before. It doesn't matter for us if you're a female, if you're a male, whatever you are, if you're, what color you are. If you can race and you've been doing that, you can still do that if you're a mother or whatever. So, like they were just like, we want your talent and we want you, and that's it. And I was like, oh, I've done something right. I've done something right in my career. Like
That's
in the past, and that was
Check
like
mark.
the tick in the box.
Big.
I've done it. Yeah.
When it comes to your motivation as well, like, was there a different motivation that you had in racing before you went on that kind of 4-year hiatus? Like, do you feel like you have like a new motivation when it comes to racing now than you did before?
Yeah, well, definitely. Actually, becoming a mom changed pretty much, not everything, but a lot. It changed my mentality for the team and for the people around me, and what I gained when becoming a mom was the most important thing, which is patience. I lacked the patience. So I always wanted everything now, immediately, just like, give it to me now. And I didn't have the patience at all. And also in the racetrack, like on the racetrack as well, when I was racing, I looked even those smallest gaps and I just took it instantly. Mostly it works, but then there is also situations where you actually really need to think and be patient and kind of step a little bit back so that you can maybe then next lap take a few steps forward. So that I gained by becoming a mom, and that kind of changed the whole game. And then I became a lot better racing driver.
That's amazing.
Wisdom and foresight.
Basically. Perspective, wisdom, calmness, all of those things.
Right.
Yeah.
All from being a mom, that's incredible. And if you had to say like your goal now in racing is to, how would you fill in the blank there? Like, what is the goal now for you?
Just stay professional. And enjoy every moment that I do. And kind of, that's basically it. That's a lot.
Stay professional, enjoy. That's already enough.
During like race days, do you have any like superstitions or rituals beforehand? Before you like hit the pave?
No. The only thing is that I need to go to the toilet all the time. I like when you drink a lot, when it's so hot, even though you take all the electrolytes, everything is just like constantly. That's like the only thing. I'm in the car and we need to wait in there, and I'm like, oh my god, oh my god. So that is the only thing I just wish for. I'm like, no, please, like give me time before, But no, basically I don't have anything.
No rituals.
Just cooling down. But that's like, those are not rituals. Those are like more or less like what you need to do. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And when it comes to like the most iconic moments that you've seen in F1 or the W Series, I mean, imagine that you were introducing a person to this sport for the first time. Is there a moment you'd say like, go watch that? That's a really cool moment, and it'll tell you everything you need to know about the sport.
Oh my God. There are so many. I myself, like from the childhood, remember, Mika Häkkinen and Michael Schumacher were like racing a lot, and all the iconic moments from there. But I think there has happened so much now during the past years that I would just say like, just watch the Drive to Survive.
Do you watch that show?
I do.
You do? Yeah. What do you think about it?
Well, it's fun when you have that kind of when I understand the world
Yep.
really as it is, so then I can actually
Fill in the gaps.
I can fill in the gaps, and I can I can say, okay, well, that's fiction.
Yeah, I was
Okay,
gonna say,
like,
that didn't happen.
That's it
Yeah.
all. And I'm like, and I can, take those parts as humor and as kind of like, okay, well, that's just too much or something like that, and then I don't take it seriously. But yeah, it's fun entertainment.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
It's very entertaining.
Yeah.
Entertaining, and that's
Yeah.
I think that's what is it all about. It's if someone thinks that that's like the true story when it's presented by like so narrow aspects somewhere, that's on them then.
Yep. Yep.
You need to kind of understand that, okay, well, it's obviously something that you'll just like
Yeah.
just the more is better.
Yeah.
I mean,
Drama.
Yeah, exactly.
Like the rivalries.
Yeah.
It's so much fun.
Yeah.
But absolutely, like, take it at face
Exactly.
value.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's just like, okay, well, this is entertainment, and just keep that in mind,
Yeah.
and then you'll be fine.
yeah. Do you ever think that women's series will have their own version of that? Going through what you mentioned earlier with the the constant lottery switching and that.
I think, yeah, that would be possible one day.
Yeah.
And I think that there's been some kind of discussions about that at one point, but I don't know what the situation is at the moment. But
Gotcha.
I wouldn't be surprised if there would be.
Yeah, I mean, it would be cool to see that.
Yeah. Many have said that they would actually like to see that.
Yeah. No, that's amazing.
Especially because it's so different.
Yeah.
Like, though I for some reason I thought it would be similarly run and different teams, different constructors.
Yeah.
Like, I thought it would. I didn't really realize that the whole back end of the engineers,
So
mechanics, and
And the fact that we are actually not able to change the setups in the car a lot. Like, we have just small, narrow things we can do. So basically, it's like, I sometimes, when people don't understand what I mean, I'm like, well, if you want to really like put it at some, if you would have like a hockey team, and then you have a lot of players in the hockey team, and then you would say like, well, everyone skates with the 45 skates and with the lefty stick. And that's how it goes. It's the same for everyone. That's how it goes. But that's like the very simple version of that, the whole thing. But that's kind of like the idea that everyone has the same, and then we rotate everything, and you can do minor like changes and stuff, but then you kind of, as a driver, need to adapt to what you have, and then kind of deal with it. Right. And then we have like 1.5 hours during the whole weekend, only 1.5 hours in the car.
To figure it out.
Because it's like half an hour practice, which means basically like 15 laps max.
Yeah.
And then you have a half an hour time qualification, which means like max 10 laps because you need to change the tires in between.
Right.
And then you have a 30-minute race. That's it. Wow. And then no testing.
Yep.
Oh,
you're just hoping, just
so
praying.
you're just like, whoa, what should we put on here?
What about simulators though? Do you guys use simulators? Do you spend a lot of time in sim?
No, not a lot of time, but we do learn like the tracks and stuff like that. Yep. You can prepare yourself better, but then like obviously, getting the setup right, and then like being on track, especially if it's a place where you've not been before, and then some other drivers have, and especially with that car. So then obviously they are a bit ahead than you are.
And what about sim racing at home? Like, do you have a simulator at home, or do you just?
Yeah, I do, but I'm that generation where when I was a kid, we did have different kind of car games and stuff like that. But then I played with a computer, and then I had the keyboard with the the arrows.
Or front to back. Yeah.
Exactly. So, well, I'm not that used to in the sim racing, because for me at that point it was like, oh, this is not real. And then now it's not even that real, but it's even a little bit more so.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Maybe last question.
Yep.
What is your ultimate favorite F1 lineup and W Series lineup? If you had to.
Oh my God. Tough. Well, let's start with the most obvious one. I would be on the grid.
Yes, of course.
Come on.
Yeah, you're just a teammate.
Yeah. And definitely then I would love to have who I would like to race against, Michael Schumacher, obviously. Mika Häkkinen,
Yes.
obviously. Then I would love to have, Hamilton, Max, then Lando.
Yep.
Yeah.
Also Valtteri Bottas I would like to have there. For me as well, how many is that?
Well, yeah.
I don't know, but
Options.
options. Yeah. So basically, yeah.
That's fair.
That's a good lineup.
That's a
a
solid
lot of-
Yeah,
solid
then
strong
obviously,
lineup.
but it's not. Jamie Chadwick needs to be there. Then I would like to have Alice Power there.
Nice.
So yeah, Alice would be a good match as well.
Nice. I actually lied. There's one more
And
question.
Tatiana Calderon.
Yeah.
Wow.
Tatiana too.
That'd be an exciting series, I
Yeah,
think.
yeah,
If
yeah.
we put kind of those, I think it was like 8 or 9 drivers you named. If we put them all in a series, I think that'd be pretty fun.
Yeah,
to
definitely.
It'd be interesting to see, like, to take that lineup and put everyone in the same like W series kind of setup where you don't know the
you have
car,
to keep
you don't know the
switching.
mechanic,
Yeah.
you don't know the engine,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah,
Yeah.
everything.
and then see what happens.
Just go.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
I want that to
Pretty
happen.
cool.
Yeah, me too. That would be fun.
to see.
The last question I did have before we kind of wrap up Q2 is more around even just you as a professional. Do you ever have a moment where you just feel like I have failed at my job? Like I don't think I'm doing that well. Have you had a moment where you've been at a low, and how do you kind of bounce back from those days where maybe you've had a hard day, you're blaming yourself, or you don't feel motivated? How do you kind of bounce back?
Oh yeah, plenty of those kind of moments. It's the toughest to mess up yourself. Do mistakes and stuff, and then you just kind of want to take that back, but you can't. And then, I think the most important thing how you get back from those kind of setbacks is that you don't define yourself through what you do. So even though racing is my passion, I've done it since I was 3 years old, which makes it like over 30 years. I've suffered like so many different emotions and like situations and what we talked before. I love the racing. It's my passion. But then it doesn't define who I am as a person. It's not my whole identity. It's not like my identity. So I think if you understand that, you can take yourself outside the whole thing. That you don't. If I would think that if I mess up and if I have a setback because of my own mistake, if I would see myself as a bad person after that, like that I wouldn't value myself, then that's like very dangerous.
Yeah.
Right.
So if you understand that that's just something you do and you love, and then you're emotional because that means a lot to you, that's completely fine. But it doesn't make you, a bad person.
Well said.
And
Well
that's
said.
like,
Boom.
yeah.
Mic drop.
Mic drop. Love it. I think that's a great segue into our final segment, the rapid fire round. We're gonna pull up our questions now, and we're gonna try to go through these and see how rapid and how fire these questions can be.
Now I really hope that I would have read that email.
This is like the car setup now.
end?
You're walking in,
Right
and you got
moment.
Yeah,
after
because
30 minutes of
very
practice here.
adaptable.
Because I did that basic thing, I was just checking maybe like the first,
Yeah.
the Q1. I was like, good.
That's good.
And then I didn't look at the end.
This is where it gets interesting.
Yeah,
Lovely.
No, you're fine. These are fun and light.
Yes.
All right, here we go. First question. If you had to choose one track to race on forever, which one would it be? One track in the world.
Spa.
Spa.
Nice.
I love Spa. That was
Because
my
it
favorite
has
track.
so many things.
Yeah, I know.
It has like long straights,
Yeah.
no matter what car you have. It
Yeah.
will be fun. Then it has like, it goes
Yeah.
up and down.
your
and, like,
altitude,
the
yeah.
rouge.
The hill,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah. So
That one was like I did not like that on the sim. I was not such a difficult one.
That was Fevin's first track on the
Yep,
sub.
we just threw her right in.
and it was on his sim where it had like the motion and everything,
Force feedback and
force
everything.
feedback, and I just kept spinning, just kept going.
oh my, but that's why I have it so tough with the sim.
Yeah.
Because I suck at it.
Oh,
And
Really?
I cannot handle the fact that this is kind of like racing, but I'm so bad at it. Then it's
You can
like,
drive a real car well. Don't worry about it. You're good.
You're still getting wins and podiums. That's fine.
You don't need it.
but that's why I'm like, I struggle with it. That's
Yeah.
how. Yeah.
Totally.
Amazing.
Eddie, what do you have?
If you were to add a race
Mm.
at any track, where would it be?
Anywhere in
Add.
the world.
Yeah.
Well, in Finland. Of course.
Yes.
Of course, in Finland. Yeah, we have like a couple of choices where it could be. But yeah, in Finland, definitely.
Nice. With snow or no snow?
Oh, well,
That would be
mixed conditions.
Yeah.
New tires.
Yeah. No. But definitely in Finland, that would be good because we have like the craziest, Formula and motorsports fans here as well. So that would be fun.
Yeah. Who's the last person you texted?
Who's the last person I texted? Probably my daughter. I don't know. Yeah.
What regulation change would you institute? In racing, if you had to change one aspect of it, imagine like double points in the last race, or some sort of regulation change. What would you introduce?
Well, in Formula One, I would reduce the testing time. So it would be more interesting then. Yeah. And then more like the budget gaps as well. Like I would
reduce that even more.
And I would definitely lower it so that you wouldn't be able to spend that much.
Cool.
Nice.
To make it more equal.
Yep, love that.
Perfect.
Like Red Bull sweating, but
They will be like, oh my god. They will be like, what's on the menu this time?
Yeah.
Like just chicken tenders.
Now that's beans and toast.
The whole season, just a can.
Eddie.
Our next question. I'm going to show you a photo. For audio listeners, this is you in 2019 celebrating. What was going through your mind when you earned your Grand Slam?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that was actually really, really nice because I had a bad neck and head injury from the first race in 2019. Yep. And finally I was able to come back and my kind of, I got like 5,000 volts of power, like electricity into the nerves here. Yeah. And then kind of like with that took them out of function. So then that's why I was like the whole world cleared up again. I was like, yeah, back into racing and this is good. And then that win was pretty amazing. That kind of showed the whole potential that I would have had the whole year.
Of course.
So only 3 races with the points, and then I was 5th in the championships, and that was pretty okay. But like that was kind of feeling that I'm back.
Yeah, not many can say they've got a Grand Slam, fastest lap, win,
even after circumstances.
And pole. Like that was fantastic.
Yeah.
Next.
Which driver would you trust to drive you around the track blindfolded?
Oh my God. Many, but I wouldn't like to do that because I'm anyway, like I get really easily car sick. Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
Like so easily. Like no matter who else drives, I'm getting sick. And then if they would be blindfolded, the car would go around like this, and I would be like,
so not an enjoyable thing for the driver or you.
No, definitely not. But any professional driver could handle that possibly. So yeah.
Fair.
Yeah.
I think I know the answer to this already for you, but who is the greatest driver of all time, in your opinion?
In my opinion, oh my God. That is actually very tough question.
Right.
Even though you thought that you would know
the answer.
You think you knew the answer, but you actually, that's tough. I appreciate many.
Right.
Max Verstappen is amazing, but Lewis Hamilton is so good as well. Like they have completely different kind of abilities as well, which I value a lot. Also, like my childhood hero, Mika Häkkinen, Michael Schumacher. I really loved his attitude, like the aggression he had. He was there to do anything he could to be able to win, and I kind of related to that a lot when I was a kid. I was like, right on, like yes, that's how you need to do it, and that was how I was driving as well.
Cool.
So maybe that.
Love that.
All right, let's talk about F1 predictions for this upcoming season. Drivers and constructors.
Yep.
Let us know.
Oh yeah, well, I'll take my crystal ball.
Yep. Yeah.
As I see, tarot cards as well. I predict Max Verstappen to be quite high on the top. Red Bull being strong, and what I can see here as well, Mercedes bouncing back. Yeah, very, very good, very good. But then also,
Okay.
Yeah, I couldn't see that
Yeah.
one.
It's clearing up now. It's clearing up.
Yeah,
Lewis in there.
Yeah.
She just said Mercedes.
Lewis is in there, yes, but also, George is there, definitely there. So it's going to be a really interesting season, I guess. I think it's going to be more. It's. I think that they are going to have more fights on the upcoming season that they had last year. Because first it was like, okay, Red Bull had struggles, but then they weren't having. And then I think Mercedes is going to be there, and Ferrari is going to be there as well. I'm sure. And then now, it's going to be really interesting to see with the new team, principles.
Oh yeah.
How it's going to be.
Change,
like what can, what happens now in the Ferrari? Did it make any difference to change, the team principle or not? Are the strategies any better? Are they still doing mistakes?
I'm hopeful.
All those things. So I think, but I really hope that there would be more teams, competing and having those great moments, like for example, Kevin Magnussen had.
Yes.
Like I want to see that. That was so cool.
You raced with him, by the way, in 2008, right?
I did, and we hadn't seen in so many years, like since then, basically. And then we met after Austin in the. We were in the airport, and he was like, "Oh my god!" He's like, "Oh my god! Now we have kids and stuff. Like, how old is yours?" I'm like, "Turning to 10." And he was like, "Oh my god." How is that possible? It's not even 10 years. And I'm like, yeah, it is. It's a long time ago. And he was like, oh, no. It was funny. So I really hope that there will be more teams competing. And I want to see those new drivers as well doing well. Yeah.
Okay.
It's going to be very exciting.
On the W Series side. Predictions 2023. Go.
Wow. Champion, me.
Yep.
Yes. Yes.
Tick in the box.
We don't need the tarot cards for that. We're good. Throw them away.
It's going to happen. Got it.
No, I definitely, everything needs to go as planned. Really, like you cannot plan it, but you just can't have any like bad luck or technical issues or anything like that. So they need to go all the time. So I really hope that happens for me this year, because I've had that chance, like the speed to be able to take those championships now for a couple of years, but then not able to kind of really, to really do it. So really hoping for that. And then I don't know actually who's going to be racing with me. It's still a little bit
up in the air.
Up in the air. Yeah.
Great. Who's the W Series driver that you have the most respect for?
Whoa, there are so many. I really, really have respect for Jamie. She has this great ability to be patient. Like with the W Series car, it's really heavy. And then it doesn't have that much power. So you actually need to be and then the setup we use is that you need to be extra patient. You need to wait and to be able to kind of like take the corners the right way. And she really has that. And then Alice Powell, she has that, aggressive take. And then she's a natural, like, born talent. But then there's like great personalities as well, and great like new young drivers doing well every year. Nerea Marti is like, taking new steps all the time, and many like good ones. So
great,
huge respect for all of them being there.
Lovely,
nice. Next question: what is the most unpopular opinion you have, whether it's racing or just anything else?
Unpopular
opinion that you have.
What's the most
unpopular opinion? So, that you have in racing.
I don't know.
do you believe something that other people don't
wouldn't
believe? Like, do you believe, like something that you think most other people would disagree with you on, or they wouldn't agree with you on?
No.
Perfect. Done. That's it. I said.
What's this question? I don't understand. No, not really. I don't think so.
Cool.
What car do you drive?
I drive a BMW iX.
Nice.
Yeah, so I have full electric.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Love that.
I just got that yesterday.
I thought, I was just gonna say, was that the car I saw on your Instagram? It looked sick.
It's
beautiful.
sick.
It's red, right?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
red. Yeah, I just
I
said
like the
like
color.
I want color.
Yeah, I like
It
the
needs to be 4-wheel drive because we're in Finland.
Yeah.
And then it needs to have color. And then I would actually like to have all the driving assistant systems available, to get, because I love that the car is driving by itself.
Yes. Yeah.
On the highway it's so good.
Right.
Yeah.
It's so nice, and then, good sound system. When it's an electric car and it doesn't have any sound, so like you just want to hear the music
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
really loud.
Yeah.
And then I'm like,
Yeah,
Yeah.
rocking out. Yeah. Amazing.
yeah, I'm a car singer.
What is the most overasked question that you get? The question that you get by everyone.
How did you get into racing?
Fair.
Because you're like, how did you?
Yeah, you as
Yeah.
a
To racing.
girl.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. No, but that's basically it.
Cool.
Would you rather DNF on race day or not make it on track during qualifying?
Oh, that's a tough one.
Yeah.
That's a tough one. No, definitely DNF on race day, because if you don't try, you won't ever, succeed on anything.
That's true.
So you just need to go for it. And I don't want to ever have that attitude of not trying or not, because you never know what's going to happen. And even though you would spin or you would crash or something, you can still recover and still do good.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So just like never give up.
Yep. Just like this podcast.
Yep.
yeah, exactly.
Exceed the
Going.
limits.
Yeah.
Yeah. What piece of racing memorabilia would you like to own?
Racing.
Memorabilia. So like
Oh, like anything.
anything.
I'm not a collector.
Mm.
I actually have given away all my
Really?
all my trophies as well.
Really?
Yeah, I don't like. I have the memories. What
Yeah,
do I
fair
need
enough.
the trophies for? I have the first one I ever got, and then a couple of others. But then I don't know. Maybe somewhat like someone's car.
Oh.
Yeah, that's what I want.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
definitely someone's car.
Yeah.
Like an old F1 car with great, like V12
Oh.
thingy.
Yep.
Yeah.
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 I needed to think that for
Yeah,
a while.
yeah,
And I
yeah.
definitely
Now
got
it's
there. I definitely got there. Yeah, a car.
I would have that
Yeah,
in my entryway.
Thank you.
Yeah,
the
yeah.
Ferrari, Michael Schumacher Ferrari. Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
yes. Rotating and right in the front of the house.
Yeah.
No, I would drive it.
Oh,
yeah, definitely.
better.
That's no show. No. Definitely for active use.
Wow.
Love it. Thoughts on, paid drivers, drivers that come into the sport because, maybe they have a father or a mother that's very wealthy. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, that's basically how the sport is. You can't take away from that.
Yeah.
It would be nice if it would run only with investment money, but then obviously it's an expensive sport and stuff. But then F1, I think, should be on a level that would be like for professionals, and I would like to see other racing series as well, being that professional level. So I wouldn't like to see paid driver places in those professional series, and that I would actually like to see the investment then go to the, But well, it is an investment for the team though,
Yeah.
so it's like, well, but it's a difficult thing.
Fair enough.
Yeah. What F1 team would you bring back on the grid? An old team.
An old team.
Yeah. Like BMW, Lotus.
Benetton.
Yeah.
Braun.
Lotus, maybe.
Nice.
I like BMW. Yeah, BMW would
Yeah.
be nice.
Yep.
BMW.
Hey, you're
would be
driving it
nice.
on a day to day.
I'm-
Might
I'm
as well
driving-
have it on the
I
track.
was like, I could be there. No, but BMW. Yeah, definitely. I think hopefully they would. And
Yeah.
then, being, having Porsche, maybe Audi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
rumors around.
Oh yeah,
Very
I would
exciting.
definitely love to see BMW coming back as well.
Yeah.
Having all those, all those good ones there.
Yeah.
That would be awesome.
Yeah.
That'd be fun.
Most embarrassing moment you've had on race weekend.
Oh.
Not to expose you, but
Yeah. Give us something.
One
Yeah.
moment that you were a little bit embarrassed.
Oh my god.
No, I want the most.
Yeah.
I want it all.
Maybe there is so many that I'm like. Um, yeah, I've not even peed in the seat, so it's
Really?
like no, I
Okay.
haven't. So, I don't know. Maybe those things that where I felt like most embarrassed would have been those kind of things where I failed or something like that. Even though that's something, but then in the end, it's like, well, you know,
You learn from it.
yeah, you learn from it.
Yeah.
But then you in the beginning, you're like.
Yeah.
You're just like embarrassed, like, no, I don't want to be here.
Yeah.
This is like, oh, this must be a dream or something like that. But then at the same time, like that's racing and that's how it
Yeah.
goes sometimes. But,
Exactly.
yeah.
What's one superpower that you wish you could have? One superpower, you could do anything. What would you want to do?
Ooh.
Yep.
I'll probably want to like fly.
I think we've
Anywhere
gone
in
that
the
down a
world,
few
yeah.
times. Flying
It's
is common.
Yeah, because that would just give me some like adrenaline rushes or something like that. Maybe I would then have to, I wouldn't have to have teleports. I would take like faster things. Like, no, I would definitely want to have a teleport that I could just teleport myself from
Wherever.
places to places,
Yeah.
and then just like that would be awesome. But maybe that one then.
Flying?
Yeah.
That's a good
If
one.
that's a superpower.
Yeah.
It is. Yeah,
Well,
it
I
is.
mean, yeah.
Yeah,
it is.
teleporting yourself.
Yeah.
Teleporting yourself.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
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 The team can take the flight.
Yeah.
You'll just
I'll
go
meet you
there.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
We're here.
you're right. Yeah, exactly. That would be awesome.
The
Like,
amount of time you'd save.
exactly.
Yeah.
And the sleep, you don't have to sleep on the planes and everything. You just show up. I know.
That's
Hey,
her superpower
that is
already.
her superpower. Oh my
yeah,
god.
Oh my god. But no, but that would be so good actually. Yeah, teleporting yourself everywhere and then the amount of time you would save.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, lovely.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Annie?
Nice. If you were not in F1 or sorry, women's series, what would you be doing?
Ooh, if I wouldn't be like a racing driver
Racing,
at
yep.
all, I think I would still do some sports. Maybe like with, motocross or enduro or other adrenaline type
Nice.
sports. Like I will race with snowmobiles one day, all those kind of things. But yeah, also. I was thinking when I was a kid, I was also thinking like, okay, what am I good at? Because you need to have plan Bs,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and plan Cs and whatever, because you never know what's going to happen. And in these sports, it's about the funding.
Right.
Yeah.
It can also be, you get injured or something like that. You can't carry on your career. So then I was thinking, okay, like, what am I good at? Well, I'm good to drive. Okay, like what can I do then? Well, I could be a ambulance driver, for example.
Right,
Yeah.
I would be, people will get,
Yeah.
from places to
Yeah.
places
Yeah.
really quickly. Or then I could
If
be
you
like
were
a
my
police
ex, yeah.
officer,
Oh, nice.
like, FBI agent, driving around, like, really, really.
Setting fast times here.
No. But yeah, I thought maybe something to do with media,
Cool.
something to maybe politics at one point was one thing that I was interested. But I think that entrepreneur anyway, like no matter what I would do, I would be an entrepreneur.
That makes sense.
Like I am now.
Yeah, right.
Already. I want to define my days like to be different from each day. Yeah.
What celebrity or other athlete do you think would be good at or car racing or formula racing? Like it could be anyone, an actor, athlete, who you think would be good at this.
Oh. I think Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
Because he's nuts.
Yeah.
He does all his stunts
Oh,
by
yeah.
himself and everything, like he definitely, and he's small enough.
Yeah. You fit.
As well, he can fit in the car.
Yeah.
Honestly, that's where my brain always goes when I
Oh,
think about
really?
this question.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe it's because of the recent Top
Maverick.
Gun.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
He's
It could
always
be, it
doing
could be.
extreme things.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
could be. No, but yeah. Definitely Tom Cruise
Cruise.
could be one. Yeah.
Perfect. Final question. You are writing an autobiography on your life. Which of these titles best resonates with you? Okay. The Daredevil, the Dream Catcher, the Hardest Worker, or the Free Spirit?
All of them.
Mm.
All of them. Like I'm a bit, little bit of that.
Yeah.
A little bit of this. Somehow the Daredevil feels good.
Yeah.
And then also like the Free Spirit.
Love
Because
that.
both of them.
Both of them.
Amazing.
Lovely. Well, that is Q3, guys. And I think Emma did a
Oh my
fantastic
God.
job.
Purple
Well
sector
done.
there.
You're off the hot seat now, Emma, but we do end every interview off with one question. At the very beginning, you described your career in 30 seconds. The final question we ask every guest is, describe how you want to be remembered in 30 seconds. What do you want your legacy to be? I know this is even a tougher question.
It's a deeper
The
question.
rapid fire questions.
Well, it was a really, really good one. Well, I would like to be remembered as a person who is determined, passionate, loving, caring, and not an asshole. Basically,
In
Love
today's
it.
world,
and a good sports person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that. In today's world, I think we need more of both those people. So
Less
thank you for
assholes.
saying that. Thank you so much for coming on, Emma. I
Yeah,
really do
thank you.
appreciate it. This was fantastic. Where can people find you if they want to stay, in tune with your journey throughout the season? Where can people find you online?
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I'm on Instagram, Emma Kimiläinen. Also nowadays on TikTok.
TikTok.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I just started that. So
Nice.
give me support. So Emma Kimiläinen there as well. Also, I don't use Twitter that much, but you can reach me there as well. All with the same nickname. Yeah.
Perfect. We'll put that in the show description for sure,
Yeah,
guys.
thanks.
Please go and check out the other episodes we also have on Track Limits. We can be found on tracklimitspod.com. Feel free to follow us on our socials, and we will see you guys on the next episode. Thanks so much.
Bye.